Yep, here we are. We're just preparing the steel posts, ready to go in the ground. We're coating it with... Yes, here we are at the house of Ian Wright at 14 St Leonard Street at Coorparoo. He's our client on this job, and we're going around. Ian's a nice guy. He works as an engineer in the mining industry. Ian's doing a lot of the work himself on this building, and of course has the skills to do so. We've dug it out for him. We've done some excavation. Ian spent about $4,500 so far on excavation to get this cleaned up around the outside of the house, ready for a retainer wall to hold back the dirt and the water that comes during the storms we have here in Brisbane, in Queensland. And while we're digging this particular footing, although we are coming into our winter season, it's been a particularly wet year this year, and only 2 days ago, as we had this side just started to dig, we had a rain squall come through. It lasted 30 minutes and dumped about 4 inches of rain, which is pretty mild for Brisbane. It's still, as soon as you start digging in this country, it starts raining. Something weird about that, but that's just how it works in the building industry. As soon as you take off a roof or dig a hole, it has to rain. So we got that cleaned up the following day and drilled the holes. We finished drilling about 6:30 yesterday. Got it all drilled, and we cleaned it all up, and had an independent engineer come in and inspect the holes, and that was Peter from Crichton Engineering. Came through and did that for us early this morning to make sure we have independent inspections on the holes, ready for us to put concrete in tomorrow morning as we hang all these posts. So we'll keep the videos going and show you how we go piece by piece. But yeah, there's another one. Alright, let's try it again. As we have the timber posts here to go under the front deck. These posts are an imported timber. They're nice and hard. F17, finished nicely, ready for painting, which I'm going to do shortly with an oil-based enamel. Something to protect them with out in the weather. Ready for the owner to paint them properly later. To give them the other 2 coats they need. And then of course they go into these holes over here, which we have to lengthen the stirrups for, so we can have the timber no closer than 100mm off the ground, and they get mounted up onto the hardwood up top here on the deck. So that's where the timber posts are going. 3 posts down into the 3 holes we have dedicated for them, and then we just have to box up those holes to pour them full of concrete. And that'll be done hopefully Saturday. We'll see how we go, probably Monday. But that's the timber, and that's one of my jobs to do today or tomorrow on Saturday. And Cameron's still busily there doing those few posts. With a coat of enamel, and I'll show you here, you see where the bare steel painted. We give it a coat of enamel to try and prevent corrosion. And after which, of course, after we've done the coat of enamel, once that's dry, we then give it a coat of tar. This tin's already empty. So, I'm trying to spray her up. As long as it's an oil-based paint, something that'll stop. Here we are back at Ian's place, getting ready to pour concrete today. We've just got to hang the posts, double check that the house is in the right position, and then we can pour the concrete, which we have at this stage ordered for 10 o'clock this morning. Cameron's warming himself up. It's starting to get a bit chilly here in Brisbane as the temperature drops down to, what is it, about 15 degrees for Brisbane. That's cold. As we get down, as you see, we've got posts in the holes. We've just got to bolt them up to the bearers, put them up there in their correct position and at the correct height, so we can lower the house down onto the posts after the concrete is set in about 2 days. We like leaving the concrete for 2 days to let it cure before we let the weight down on them. I know there's a lot of house stumpers out there that raise it today and drop it again tomorrow. Give it less than 12 hours to cure, and in most cases concrete hasn't gone hard enough to let the 20 or so tonne down on top of them by then. But that's the way they do it. We've still got to run around. Once we hang these posts, then we run around with the tar and a roller and tar these posts up. And as we go around, one of the things I also do and have been doing for a couple of 3 or 4 years now is, at the same time as putting the posts up, I do a little bit of the feng shui thing, trying to pass money on, pay forward. By doing so, what I do is I grab a $2 coin, which I have right there in my hand, and I go to a hole, and we do this with every hole in the house. I'll have my son Francis do this in a little while, and we do this. We throw $2 in the bottom of every hole, or a gold coin at least, a dollar coin or a $2 coin, whichever we have the most of, and that is paying forward. And if anybody's into moving energy, paying forward, just like paying back, is always pays for you. Goodwill, bad will, paying forward always pays 10+ fold. If anybody's ever worked with energy and the way it works, you'll find that doing good always pays back well. And as such, like, we don't advertise, we don't promote ourselves in almost any fashion, but we've always got lots of work. So something's working for us. Okay, so that's how we are starting. We're just getting the tools off the truck. Francis is running around doing a bit of a clean up at the moment as we get ready to put these posts up. So we'll stop it there and come back to it a little later on after we've hung a few. Okay, here we are. We've just put our first post up, which is our corner post. We put it up to height. If we go over here, we'll see that there is actually a gap just there. So have a look, there's a gap between the bearer and the post. As we've adjusted, worked out the height of where the post has to be to keep the house at our correct datum height once we lower it down. And then of course what we've done, because it is a corner post, and we stringline all our posts to make sure they're straight lines. We don't actually go by the bearer of the house, because that usually is bent and warped. We've actually plumbed it up. Cameron's there. Just double check it, Cam. We've got blocks there to hold it. One of the advantages of being with all the house raising blocks, we've got plenty of blocks to hold the posts in the correct position. So that's now plumb, awaiting our tar and then concrete, and our $2 coin, of course, which Frankie will do in a minute. But what we do, if you see there, we have a yellow string line going down, already on its way down the house, and it will now go over to our next post, which is just on the other side of that sty, which is where we're going to hang the next one. So we'll get all our tools set up over there to get the next post hung, ready for us to get a straight line. Now, the reason why we do this is, of course, this house is around 80 years old, and because of that, there's no guarantee this has a straight wall. Alright, now being that I've done quite a few trades in the building industry, I know how important it is to have a straight wall, especially if you want to tile the slab. The last thing you need is a 3-inch bend in the wall to put your straight tiles up to. So that's one of the main reasons we use string lines, is so we can get a nice straight wall, so people can put all their finishings and furnishing